Hey, this is Dr. Rob, and I wanted to welcome you here today to another one of my whiteboard sessions where we are going to talk about the 5 deadly anti-nutrients, what they are, and more importantly, how to remove them from your foods or what you should do about them. But before we cover this information, please take a moment, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, and if you like this at the end, please give me a little thumbs up with a little likes. Cool. All right, so let's cover it. All right, so an anti-nutrient is something that interferes with either our ability to absorb nutrition from our food or stops our body from doing a process that would be required to absorb nutrition from our food. So let's talk about the first one. So the first one's called solanine. So solanine comes from things like tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, and solanine can cause things like joint pain, muscle inflammation. So if you have arthritis and fibromyalgia, you may want to consider removing tomatoes, eggplants, the nightshade vegetables, peppers from your diet. Or if you want to just reduce your solanine, because in high amounts this can actually be poisonous to your body, if you want to reduce the solanine content, the best way is to grill it. So grill your vegetables. You can grill your tomatoes or broil your tomatoes. That's typically the best way to do it. Okay, second one on the list is cacoinine. So that comes from corn, and that can cause things like bloating and diarrhea, constipation, GERD, all kinds of different digestive issues. It could even cause achiness in your joints and brain fog. The best way to address that, of course, is remove it, but if you want to eat it, you want to steam it. So you want to steam your corn. That would be the best way to help reduce the content of that anti-nutrient. Now, the next one are oxalates. Oxalates are found in spinach, kale, chard, and other kind of dense leafy greens. It's associated with things like joint pain, gut problems, kidney stones, kidney inflammation, generalized body inflammation, and can even cause some issues with the thyroid gland. The best way to remove oxalates from your food is, like if you had spinach, for example, you would boil your spinach for about a minute. After you boiled it for a minute, you would then strain it out, and then you could do whatever you want with it. You could pan fry it, you could put it in garlic, you could put it in a smoothie, you could do whatever you want. But the point is you boil it first for 60 seconds. It's for 1 minute. That gets rid of a lot of the oxalate contents. Okay, next one is phytic acid or phytate. So phytic acid is found in nuts most commonly, and it essentially stops mineral absorption. So it shuts down the absorption of minerals like magnesium, manganese, which are so important for our body. And the best way to remove phytic acid from your nuts is to soak your nuts overnight. So before you go to bed, get a raw nut, put it in a bowl of clean water, like I personally use reverse osmosis water. I recommend you get a remineralizer or add mineral drops to that. But regardless, for soaking purposes, you just want a good clean water, soak your nuts overnight, and then the next morning strain them and then rinse them off, and then you're good to go. If you don't like them because they're too soaky for you, like too soggy, which I actually love them soaked, but if they're too soggy, you can just put them in a dehydrator or cook them in an oven at 106 degrees or less, and that will take the water out of them and turn them closer to nut-like consistency. Okay, and the last one is gluten. So gluten, as we know, is in glutinous grains, right? Like wheat, barley, rye. But the big thing about gluten is it's an enzyme inhibitor. It actually interferes with your body's ability to break down foods. And it's associated with things like leaky gut, joint pain, skin inflammation, and the exacerbation or worsening of autoimmune disease. It could even be associated with brain fog and slowing of the brain, because gluten, when you can't properly digest it and break it down, it's one of the hardest plant-based proteins to break down. But when you can't break it down, it breaks down into a morphine-type compound called glutenorphine. It's literally, you could go Google it if you want to. But in any event, it breaks down into that, and it can negatively impact the brain. The best way to get rid of your gluten, throw it out. I don't recommend you try to cook gluten out. Like I have an enzyme called pHzyme. You're more than welcome to go on my website and get it. It does have enzymes in there that help to support your body's ability to break down and process gluten, But really, I think the best thing you could do, just get rid of the gluten, man. It's just not really a great thing. In my opinion, 70% of the population is going to be gluten sensitive. So toss that stuff out. I hoped you liked this information today. Look, if you have any health problems or weight problems and you want some help, please reach out to us. There'll be links down here. We're happy to help you however we can. And if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and I will catch you at the next whiteboard session. Thanks for being here tonight. Bye-bye.